Hi there, I'm going to do a quick recording. Well, I don't know how quick it is, but there's nothing on TV I want to watch, and it's a quiet day around here, so I thought I'd just work on some odds and ends. I was at Walmart the other day, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks ago, I'm not sure exactly, but I saw these little purses, and they were in the clearance section, and I got 3 purses for $3, and they were meant to be have appliques put on them and all the bling put on them. I mean, you can still do all that stuff with these, but I converted mine into a doll skirt. So what I did was I opened up one of the doll skirts. It comes with a little zipper inside. So what I did was I took out this seam here and took off the white part of the skirt. I took off that, I took off the zipper, and then I just turned this down and I made that as interfacing for the waistband. I didn't go all the way through because I didn't want it to detract from the top stitching on the original purse, so I just whip stitched it down. So then it was too big for the doll, so what I ended up doing is I ended up cutting the straight down the back where this line of stitching is. I just cut right down here, and I ended up having to sew it together about 1 inch extra in the inside, and now it'll fit the dolls. And then I just turned it under. I finished off this so it wouldn't fray, and then added a hook and eye. So now I have a little skirt, and it's a $1 skirt, so I figured, what the heck, you might as well just make it into a skirt instead of throwing it away. So that's some of the things I've been doing. Another thing I was doing is, this is a camisole I got at one of the thrift stores, and it had such a pretty edging on it, and it was relatively, well, it was, you know, very little wear to it. So I took that and I cut the feet off the bottom of my pattern. Let's see if I have one here. I just took my pattern and took the feet off of it, and I lined that pretty scalloped edging on the bottom of the pattern, and that's how I ended up getting the little, I've been painting today too, my hands are a mess. That's how I ended up getting that little scalloped edge on the bottom of the tights. If she's wearing a skirt, you can, it's a stretch fabric, so you can bring them all the way to the bottom if you want. But I was going to take the inside of the inside fabric of the camisole and make a little pair of pajamas for her. Might as well use up this fabric too, so I'll make her a pair of pajamas out of the top of this to go with her lace leggings. But anyway, let me show you what the skirt looks like. I still have to make a blouse to match, but then you just put it on and then you just pull it over and use the hook and eye, and you've got yourself a little skirt. I have it on right. There we go. So now she has a pair of leggings, and she's got a little green skirt. Okay, so that was that for those. And then I was at Walmart again, and I saw these. She doesn't stand up well on glass. I don't know exactly why. She doesn't stand up very well on glass. But when I was at Walmart, I found these cord clips. I think this was, you get a 10-pack, and you get them in all the neon colors. They're the 1/2 inch and the 6 1/4 inch clips, and they come in neons. And I thought, well, wouldn't that be clever to use these little ones as straps on a purse? Just say you were going to make a tote bag, and you can use this to put the strap on so that you know that you can fill the doll's bag up, and then close it up with this little hook. It doesn't have to be the parachute cord. You can do it with anything. You can do it with beading. So I took the yellow one, and I got out some of the fold over elastic, and I thought, well, won't that be cute? You could make stretch waistbands with these too. So I just will show you what it looks like. I have it pinned down. It's not actually sewn on, but you can actually use these and make your own belts with your little parachute clips. You don't have to. You can embellish these. You can paint on these. You can put a little picture on there, and you can do pretty much anything with these little clips. But they surely do make cute little waistbands. You can get a full t-shirt blouse and then make a bunch of these little belts, and you can have a nice little wardrobe just with these little belts. You can do all kinds of things with them, and they're so simple. I haven't sewn anything yet on them, but it's just a matter of threading the elastic through and then just sewing them down like you would a regular belt. So that would be the same way you would have the strap on the purse. Say you want to put a strap on the purse, you can just sew this on the purse and then bring this around and strap down your purse so that nothing will fall out of her tote bag or even her clutch. Either one, it would work for either one. But heck, you get 10 for $2.79. They're like 27 cents each, 28 cents each, and you got some pretty little belts. But it was just an idea that you can use. They had a $1 bag again at the thrift stores, and you can put as many clothes as you want. And I thought this was so cute. This was a Fisher Price 3 to 6 month dress. I don't really like doing this because when you cut down these little girl dresses or these infant clothes, it's more work than if you just start from scratch. But this one had such cute little details on, so I decided I was going to go ahead and attempt another downsize on an existing outfit. So what I had to do is I had to keep the bodice here on the top the same as the same way it was on the original dress. Otherwise, the back and the front wouldn't match any longer because I had to get them to match together. So what I did was I folded the bodice in half here, and I sewed about 1 inch, and then I opened up that inch of that bodice, and then I just top stitched it and threw on a couple buttons. So you think that that was the original intent of the dress itself. Now, I made a mistake on this outfit. I measured the front and then I added extra in the back, thinking that I was going to take in the back and add either a zipper or I was going to put in some Velcro on the back. But then once I put this on the doll, I was able to get this on without having to cut the back and make another closure. So what ended up causing that is that my back is now wider than my front. So you really do have to think about the end result when you try to downsize one of these baby dresses, because just that one little mistake now, and I'm ending up with the front of the dress is narrower than the back of the dress. But it was a $1 bag. I think I probably paid a nickel for this outfit, so it was no big deal. So I'm just going to leave it the way it is. But anyway, that's one way you can downsize these 3 to 6 month outfits, and they're kind of cute. So for her, she looks like she's one of the younger type dolls, and I think a dress like this really looks cute on her. But anyway, that was a 3 to 6 month Fisher Price doll dress. This item here was on the other side, so I had to bring the whole bottom of the dress over so it was even in the middle instead of it being to one side of the outfit. But like I said, that probably cost me about 10 cents plus the 2 buttons, and that was it for that. We were somewhere around, I guess it was, I think we were driving through Pennsylvania on the way home from New York last time we were there. And I saw this little guy at one of the thrift stores. He was dressed in a sleeper outfit, and he had a $2.99 price tag on him. This is one of those old Syndee dolls. It's Syndee. If you look on Amazon, not Amazon, but eBay, you can still find these put together dolls. And all they are is you get this white, let me take these off. You get these white fabric, and then you stuff it, and then you just put them together with cable ties. And like I said, this one is the large doll, and he's still available. I think I saw him for, I think he was $16.99. He's not put together yet. You have to put them together. But it's Syndee, Syndee, and I looked, and you can still get doll patterns, I mean clothes patterns for these dolls, but they're very old-fashioned. But anyway, you can put them together. The only flaw he has is he's got some ink on his back, and he's just fuzzy right now because I've been putting underwear on him. But I'm going to make him a boy doll. So I found this pair of new Fruit of the Looms, and I tried to make a real pair of Jockey briefs for the boy. And it's actually an easy pattern to make. I was surprised. It's just a matter of, let me get the pink one. I did a test pattern once. I tried to use this Fruit of the Loom waistband, but it was a little too wide. It looked better than the one I have on now, and I'm going to try and find another pair of underwear and see if I can do a better job on the next pair. But these were relatively easy to make, and surprisingly so. I thought, being that they were having that double piece of fabric in the front, I thought it would be harder to make these, but it really wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. But anyway, here is boys' briefs. So when you design your pattern, you're going to bring your back piece. You're going to cut your pattern exactly to fit the fabric, the body of the doll. So you're going to make one major piece of fabric that comes all the way around, and you end up with just this little triangle piece in the front. And this little triangle piece is made out of 2 pieces of fabric, and the back is just 1 piece. So when you have that front piece, you have double fabric so that you can get this flap in here. You'll have a flap going this way on the outside and a flap going this way on the inside, and that's how you get that little flap on the inside. But if you're, these right here, all this is bias strips. You just do it, sew it just like this, and then you just put on your bias strip here and here, and then of course you're going to put the bias before you sew on your double fabric for the inside like that. But that's the difference between boy briefs and girl briefs, is just the way that one comes around the side, and then just this little triangle piece in front. They're easy to make. I was surprised by how easy they are. But anyway, that's what I've been up to. Not much of anything, but anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.